their values. But more recently, lots of investors telling me that they dumped shares of Disney based on some of the recent actions by management that conflicts with their own personal values. But values-based investing is not necessarily new, but what is it exactly? Joining me now from Bookmont, Capital Senior Portfolio Manager Emma Muhleman. Emma, you know, I read where you're values-based investors, and I thought it was so intriguing in this particular time. What is it and why is it so important?
Well, with the millennial and Gen Z generations, they tend to be more focused on investing either with their pocketbooks or investing in things that they see as consistent and aligned with their values, either with how they shop, where they dine, what have you, or in their portfolios.
So on your Twitter profile, it says you're a senior portfolio manager, Austrian economics, free market enterprise drives progress, government intervention does not, and opinions are all your own. I want to know how you extend that to, and since, for instance, the Federal Reserve, they're supposed to hike rates a gazillion times into the stratosphere, but essentially they're trying to clean up a mess that they made. So how does this, the Austrian economics view what we are going through on both the fiscal side and with central banks?
So the Austrian economics, or the Austrian economist in me says the central bank should probably have gotten out of the way in the first place. This is the kind of the beast that they created, and now they're trying to walk back out of it. But there's really no, at this stage in the game, I don't think normalization in a true sense is ever going to happen.
So then why you think Wall Street then is going overboard with the, oh man, they're going to raise 9 times, 10 times. I mean, is there some sort of a wink, wink and nod amongst folks on the street that know that there's only a certain level the Fed will ever raise rates, only a certain amount they'll ever take off the balance sheet before they reverse course?
I think there should be, but you'd be shocked to see how many people actually believe that Jay Powell will go as far as he, or even farther than he says he will go. But what they don't realize is that we have an economy that's burdened by tons and tons of debt. And so when you raise rates that high and they go higher and higher, something will break. I mean, we saw this in December 2018 with the infamous Powell pivot when, stocks went, he did, a couple rate hikes at a slower pace than he intends to, or the Fed intends to right now. And it was a short time before we had equities down 20% and he had completely reversed course and was headed for QE.
Yeah, I guess that's what they call the Fed put. He changed his mind right away in January after suggesting that he would continue to hike rates, so something changed his mind. Let me ask you then on the market itself, were you seeing opportunities considering all these different crazy things we got going? I know you're like a #1 ranking large cap value investor, although some ways that feels oxymoronic because they've done so well. Where are the opportunities right now?
So I think where the opportunities are one, if you think about if the Fed is not going to be as hawkish as the market has priced in, then when that comes to bear, what will benefit, which would be long duration. And then more specifically, I think the market has underappreciated the impact on energy markets and fertilizer markets and agricultural markets in general globally, what's going on in Russia and Ukraine.
Yeah.
So Russia and Belarus together are the world's largest exporter of potash. That's a critical fertilizer input. You've got French farmers already complaining that they're not even going to be using fertilizer, and that hurts yields this year, but it also hurts the land. So it can lead to, more of a 5-year problem with food supplies. So I'm thinking inflation and food prices around the fourth quarter. By the time we see it in the United States.
All right.
So names that would benefit from that are CF Industries. That's a nitrogen fertilizer producer in North America, and they ship it globally.
Yeah, no, I like CF a lot myself. I think it was #1 play. It was in the top 3, I think, on Friday, and we've seen that do extraordinarily well. Emma, we've got to leave it there. It's fantastic talking to you. Thank you very much. All right, folks, at this moment, President Biden delivering a speech on how his administration is fixing our nation's trucking problems. But I'm going to get reaction from the founder of Freightways, Craig Fuller. He wrote some things last week that you need to hear. Also, Russia facing a fresh wave of condemnation after deliberate killing of civilians was discovered in Ukraine.